Well, look who's here. It's our good friend, Ryan E. Murphy with the Ryan E. Murphy Law Firm. Looking dapper as always, my friend.
Thank you.
So good
Nice
to
to meet
see you.
Nice meeting you.
We're so glad you're on the show. So, you know, you are an expert for what you do, but just remind our viewers about the law firm first.
So the Ryan E. Murphy Law Firm does one thing, and we represent injured employees in Missouri work comp accidents.
And that's one important thing that you do, though.
You know, I take a lot of pride in the fact that we specialize in doing that one thing and getting really, really good at it. I love representing people who have been hurt at work because I like making certain that they get what the law says they should get.
Amen to that.
And I feel like a lot of workers, you kind of, unfortunately, you don't know what your rights are. If you're hurt on the job, you're just kind of like, okay, well, I guess I'll deal with it.
Yeah.
That is
But-
absolutely the case. So many people, they come in and they don't have a clue about Missouri work comp law because they've been lucky enough not to get hurt up until that point in time. And so many people don't know what's going on, and I get to help them. And that's, I take, again, great pride in doing that.
Yeah.
That's great. So let's get to some issues then. So what if an adjuster says, hey, your claim is closed, and can it be reopened, though, if you still need medical treatment for that injury? Because if it's closed, that sounds pretty permanent.
Yeah, we hear people, they come in, they go, well, you know, I'm still having problems, but the adjuster said it was closed. And I go, all right, well, you know, they may want that, they may wish that, you know, but the reality is the claim has a period of time when it can be brought, and it's years, okay? It's literally 2 years after the accident or the last treatment, when we can reopen anything. That's just closing on their end, okay? It's not legally closed, and there's a huge distinction between those two.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's good to know.
All right, another situation. What if I fell at work and the work comp carrier is denying my claim? Why would that happen?
So one of the reasons I wanted to kind of educate people on that is because there's such a, they really need to call us because there's certain falls at work that just happen, and then there's falls because of the work environment. And so we really need to sit down with the individual and go over the specific facts of their claim. That's why I would encourage anyone with a fall to give us a call, because some aren't compensable, but some are, and it's very fact specific.
Yeah, and if somebody doesn't know, you don't know what you don't know until you ask.
Correct, and people could be giving up medical benefits, a right to recovery for any permanent injury, all because they didn't ask, because they just sort of thought, well, the adjuster said it wasn't compensable, so I'll accept that. Well, call us. Let us make certain that it's right.
Right, and another one, and God forbid somebody passes away on the job. If somebody, a husband or wife dies, what are the children entitled to, like benefits through compensation? Is that a thing?
Yeah, absolutely. And some of those are the hardest fought claims because I'll be frank, the insurance companies like to make money, not pay it out. And even though it may seem like this person clearly died in the course and scope of their employment, that insurance company is still going to hire an attorney to try to get out of it.
Really?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And so we, stay focused, keep them, kind of take them to task, make them do what they agreed to do, and support the spouse and children of that individual that unfortunately passed away. Those are some of the saddest cases and some of the ones that need the most legal help.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you don't mind, Ryan, may I go back to the falling at work? Because you said
Yeah.
there's some falls that just happen. You clumsy, you trip over stuff, or there's things that you're actually doing a job and you fall. Do you have any tips? Like, should people write down kind of like right after it happens, okay, so I was doing this when this happened, so their memory doesn't kind of fade when they finally come to you if it's been some time since the fall?
You know, if that helps them, if they really think in a short period of time that they're going to lose those details, or they could just pick up the phone and call us right away while it's fresh. That would be equally as effective. But yeah, whatever you need to do, whether it's speak about it while it's fresh or whether it's write it down, those will both be effective ways to make sure that the memory stays correct.
And just quickly, Ryan, we've talked about this in past interviews before, but I know a lot of workers could be worried about retaliation at work. They don't need to worry about that with you.
Yeah, I have to answer this question all the time. It's the number one concern when people come in is, well, will I be fired for hiring a lawyer, bringing a claim, seeking benefits? And the answer is absolutely not. The lawmakers in Jeff City that created the work comp law also created a law that says that they cannot retaliate against you in any way. And I'll be frank, once there's lawyers involved, they don't do it. Okay,
Perfect.
they'll
Yeah.
subject themselves to all the problems that come along with breaking laws. And again, there's lawyers involved. We're looking at it.
Yeah.
All right, how do people get in touch with you?
They can call the law firm or go to the website. They can meet with me for free. I love hearing from people. I love answering their questions. It's what I know, and so I'm happy to do it. So meet with me for free. Get your questions answered.
Get the free quote, guys. Come on, consultation with Ryan E. Murphy. So great to see you.
Hour.
So great seeing you.
See you on CBS.